The Trump administration has gutted the IVF section of the CDC, but he still claims to be the, quote, fertilization president. Today is Thursday, April 3rd. From Ave Maria Radio, this is Michigan Mornings. Good morning from Ishpeming. I'm Matthew Handley. We'll have more on that story in a few minutes, but first, your local news. State lawmakers agree that Michigan's roads need to be fixed and that there isn't enough money being put toward it. Where the money for the roads will come from remains the big question. Michigan House Speaker Matt Hall, a R-Richland Township Republican, has passed a plan that funds local road fixes without any tax hikes and adds that it was the only bipartisan plan passed in 30 years.
The village roads, the county roads, the city roads, we want to put the money that we're putting into roads into that because, a lot of work's been done on the bigger roads, the highways.
Democratic Representative Carol Glanville of Walker says they need to find existing funds if possible for roads, but also says taxes or fees will need to rise.
Existing funding or new funding, i.e. taxes. So one of those two or a combination of them is going to have to pay for the roads.
Governor Whitmer said in her State of the State address that both parties will be unhappy with a plan that works, noting spending on some programs will need to be cut, along with raising taxes. State Senator Mallory McMorrow announced yesterday that she will be running for Michigan's open U.S. Senate seat in 2026. Amidst her announcement, the Oakland and Wayne County Democrat was critical of the National Democratic Party, saying in a statement to the Associated Press that there has been, quote, lack of a response coming from our current party leadership. She's the first declared candidate in that race. A person from Kent County with a confirmed case of measles may have exposed others at the Detroit Metropolitan Airport. This is the second confirmed case of measles in the state this year. Officials say the infected individual was at the airport on March 25th from 11:20 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on March 28th from 6:45 p.m. to midnight. Health officials recommend that people who may have been exposed watch for symptoms for 21 days and call ahead to a doctor's office or urgent care before visiting. On the auto beat, Stellantis is reporting sales fell by 12% in the first quarter of the year. The automaker says the decline was due to lower fleet and rental sales as traditional retail sales held steady. Stellantis head of U.S. sales, Jeff Commerce, says they are seeing consecutive monthly market share growth, and Jeep and Ram had their best retail months of the year in March. The automaker's results fall behind its other Detroit competitors. You're listening to your local news and weather on Ave Maria Radio's Michigan Mornings. Now this.
Persecution around the world has manifested itself through the centuries, but it is worse today than ever before. Aid to the Church in Need and its donors have been there to help since 1947, never abandoning the church or her most vulnerable children. Will you stand up for your faith and accompany our brothers and sisters on their spiritual journey? Visit churchinneed.org. churchinneed.org.
In Detroit, we have a flood watch that is set to expire at 8 o'clock this morning. The rain should be gone by now. We'll have partly sunny skies and a high near 64. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with lows dipping to 42. Tomorrow, expect mostly cloudy skies with a high near 54. The rain returns on Saturday with temperatures around 55, and on Sunday, we'll see a chance of rain. We'll have mostly cloudy skies and a high near 48. The rain that was in the area this morning in Saginaw should have mostly moved out by now. We're looking at mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day with a temperature around 51. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with lows dipping to 35. Tomorrow, expect mostly sunny skies with a high near 53. The rain returns on Saturday in the morning. We'll have a high near 50, and we have a chance of rain on Sunday morning as well. It'll be mostly cloudy with temperatures near 47. I have an obituary to bring to your attention this morning. Sister Sarah Jean Seaver, OP, passed away on Monday at the Dominican Life Center in Adrian. Originally from Southeast Michigan, Sister Seaver worked in education in Detroit, Davison, and Southfield. She also served as the Director of Creative Activities at the Weber Center in Adrian. Her funeral will be on Friday at 10:30 at the St. Catherine Chapel in Adrian. She was 79. Requiescat in pace. Welcome back to Michigan Mornings. I'm Matthew Handley. The Department of Health and Human Services has gutted the CDC's in vitro fertilization team just 1 week after President Donald Trump called himself, quote, the fertilization president, while touting access to IVF. The church's teaching on IVF is clear, and Bishop Daniel Thomas of the Diocese of Toledo joined Dr. Marcus Peter on Ave Maria in the afternoon to talk about it.
As I stated in my statement there together with Bishop Robert Barron, the IVF industry treats human beings like products and freezes or kills millions of children who are not selected for transfer to a womb or do not survive. And the executive order promoting it, really then, it's fatally flawed. And it stands in regrettable contrast, actually, to the promising pro-life actions the administration offered last month concerning abortion, for which we're very grateful. But obviously, we have to speak positively when we're grateful for actions of an administration that obviously agree with us as Catholics, and we have to speak ultimately in a way that contradicts things which are not in keeping what we believe to be truly human.
Right. And so therein lies the massive issue. You touched on something very briefly, Your Excellency, and that is that in this process, the dignity of the human life is completely not respected. It doesn't matter if many Catholics have been told that this is a method of parents who are unable to have children to have children. More children are killed by means of IVF processes than the abortion industry kills in a year in the United States, and that should cause us tremendous alarm.
That's exactly right. And because the reality is for every birth by IVF, there are so many other embryonic baby siblings who simply die in the process or are selectively killed because they're deemed too weak or are condemned to live in a frozen state. And this is tragically evil.
Catch Ave Maria in the afternoon, weekdays at 4 o'clock. I'm Matthew Handley. That's going to do it for this edition of Michigan Mornings. Lord willing, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.